Hi, this is Jacques from MakuluLinux. Today I'm going to be showing off the next version that's due to go out to testers. Now, we released the alpha build the weekend, and because there were such minimal bugs or almost non-existing bugs on the build, I'm going to be skipping the alpha 2 build and going directly to beta 1. Now we've come up with a code name for this release because you know, every release needs a code name, and because this release is so fast and it's extremely, it's actually extremely fast, we've come up with a name, Concorde. You know, the Concorde airplane, the jet engine, or the jet airplane, yeah, supersonic jet airplane, sorry, that's the correct term, of the 1970s that broke the Mach 2.4 barrier. We've decided to call it the Concorde. So yeah, anyway, moving on to better things. There are a couple of major changes, one or two major changes, and then a lot of minor changes, and because it's entering beta, I'm now focusing mostly on polishing, you know, just tweaking a lot of stuff and polishing a lot of stuff. So this video is basically going to be showing off that. Okay, so what's new since the alpha build, or since the last video? Well, the first major change is the fact that I have removed Slings Cold completely from the build. Slings Cold worked brilliantly in Debian, 99.9% of the time, no issues with it, but in Ubuntu or on a Ubuntu base, it just it's not that easy. I don't think it was really designed for Ubuntu, I don't know, and since there's not much active development going on the actual application, I'm not sure that it's a good idea to include it. I actually got it to work, but I'm thinking about future builds, future kernels, future changes, and until there's proper active development on it, I don't think it's actually viable to have it inside an Ubuntu based OS. Therefore, instead I've opted to go with Synapse, which is an extremely good alternative. Now, Synapse, for those of you that know it, it will be a pleasure, I'm sure, to have it in the release. Those that don't know it, it's basically a quick sort of search enter kind of launcher. You kind of type a name, it could be a name of application, could be name of a file, a folder, anything on the PC. You could even tweak it to sort of do bookmarks and search the net and everything, all from one launcher. So I've sort of typed LeafPad. Now if I hit enter, it will just open LeafPad. If I push down, it will actually show me previous apps opened by or previous documents that I've edited with LeafPad, and I could select any of them and then hit enter to open that. So it's a very, very quick and very nice little launcher. I've actually been playing with it for a few days, and it's been a pleasure to work with it. So brilliant little launcher, and it's the perfect alternative choice to Slings Cold. In many ways it's probably better because it's quick access to just about anything on the PC anyway. So I'm sure a lot of people will like that. I can't wait to hear the feedback on that. And of course, we could still keep the standard whisker menu on the left. Okay, so that's the one major change since the last build. The other is Compass. I've been spending lots and lots of time on speed and eye candy. I already have the build running stable, everything's working, I've got no issues with that. Now I'm focusing on speed and eye candy. Speed because speed is good. I want this to be the fastest running Linux distribution out there, and I don't want anybody to second guess it. I don't want anybody to go, yeah, but you know, it's a toss up between this one and that one. None of that. I want people to look at this build, run it, and say, wow, it is fast. No contest. Okay, so that's one of my main goals. The other is eye candy. I want this, I know not everybody's into eye candy, therefore it is disabled by default, but I want it to be single click, switch on eye candy, and be blown away. People must go, wow, this is really good. You know, so those are my two main goals at this point with this release. Stability is always there. I always make stable builds, so that shouldn't even be a question. You know, speed and eye candy at this point is what I'm going for, really, like tops. So with that being said, I'm not going to go into everything that I've already covered. There's a lot of transparency on the build. I mean, even without compass, you know, it's got a very nice sleek look, nice theme, brilliant theme, not too dark, not too light, sort of a in between. And then when you turn compass on, now in the past, I should keep it off for now because I need to explain this. I've now, with this new build, I've fully integrated compass into the settings manager. In the past, the problem that people have had with compass was that the guys that don't know compass very well, who haven't worked much with it, they turn compass on and then they try and change the windows and workspaces and, you know, do tweaks and stuff from the settings panel, and then they bitch, oh, workspaces isn't working, the window manager tweaks is not opening, blah 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 blah. And I think that, and I keep saying to them, you know, these four over here are all tied to the Xfce window manager. When you use compass replace, you are replacing that Windows manager with compass Windows manager. Therefore, you cannot run compass Windows manager and then try and configure it via the Xfce window manager settings. So these do not work when compass is switched on, okay? And that is always a problem. I mean, that it's come up time and time again. So what I have done now was integrate compass completely into the settings panel. Therefore, when compass is turned off, you can edit the normal appearance, and you can edit the Windows manager and the window manager tweaks and workspaces like you normally do in Xfce. But when you turn compass on, okay, those icons all get removed from the settings panel. So now you cannot accidentally tweak on the wrong Windows manager. Instead, they get replaced by the compass Windows settings manager and the Emerald theme manager. Okay, so compass is on now. Let's go back into settings manager and you'll see there they are. There's compass Windows settings manager, there's Emerald theme manager. The others are gone. So now you can tweak your themes and you can tweak your window manager like you normally would in compass. And if you turn compass, oh, by the way, they get removed from the start menu. They get removed from everywhere. They are nowhere to be found. The icons are just gone, okay? So all entries are gone, everything's gone, so there's no accidental editing on the wrong window manager. And if you turn compass off again, as you can see, they are replaced. The compass config settings manager, Emerald, gets removed from the settings panel, appearance is back, window manager is back, workspaces is back, Windows manager tweaks is back, and they are back in the start menu as well, or your launcher menu, or whatever you want to call it. So now compass is fully integrated into the settings panel. So, you know, that's a nice little extra new addition to the distribution, because that will now really solve the whole confusion. I mean, even one of the testers now with the last release told me, oh, Windows Manager tweaks is not working when compass is on. And I said, well, it's not supposed to work because you're using compass window manager, you're not using Xfce window manager. But anyway, so this will solve all confusion with that. Okay, so that's another major change with compass. Also, I'm just going to switch on compass here. Now remember, this build is super fast. I'm running inside of a virtual box with limited hardware, and as you've seen now, without compass on, it is super fast. I mean, it's a click and it's there. I mean, that's not even, I don't even think you can count that fast. It's like lightning, you know. You click something, it's instant. I mean, the speed is really impressive. And this is inside VirtualBox. This is not even on actual hardware, okay? So that's with compass turned off. Okay, so if we turn on compass now, and this is where the magic really starts, and you know, it might be a slightly slower, obviously, because there's a lot more animations now taking place, but for a standard compass, you know, installation or standard running Compass, this is still damn fast. I don't think I've ever really seen Compass even run at this speed before. Inside VirtualBox, this is just like seriously, it's lightning fast. Maybe I should have called this Bullet. Anyway, so a couple of other changes is I've enabled hot corners, at least for the two bottom corners here. So you can either click on Synapse and it will open, or you can just pull your mouse into the bottom corner here, and that will, although that's kind of difficult to do inside a VirtualBox now. There we go. Just pull your mouse into the bottom corner there, and that should pop up the Synapse menu. And if you pull it into the other bottom corner like that, that will pull up the Whisker menu. So you literally don't have to click if you don't want to onto each menu. You can just drag your mouse into the bottom corners. Now that is handy for guys that will kind of hide this, auto hide the bottom panel bar. Then they don't have to first bring down the mouse and wait for the panel to come up and then click the menu. They can now simply just drag the mouse into the bottom corner and then the menu will pop up. Okay, so those are two little minor extra changes over there. Then there's a lot of transparency. I mean, even more so than the last build that I made. The last one focused mainly on borders, you know, the window borders all around and the panels and so forth. I've now actually added some more transparency. You can actually see through this. The actual active window here has a sort of a really just a thin little transparent layer here, just to sort of give that you know, that nice look. And you can actually see it. You can literally see, if you look closely, you'll see the calendar and the time, that clock on the desktop. You'll see it right through the whole of the window. Okay, so there's a lot more transparency on here. Basically all the pop-ups have transparency. You can see the icons just barely shining through there. So with a nice dark border with some graffiti on it or something, that will actually show up nicely. But anyway, so there's transparency on just about almost everything. Even if you open up like a Zenity script or something, you know, a script that you make or whatever, you can see there's plenty transparency on there. That kind of just makes that whole, gives it that whole modern look. You know, it's on par with the latest desktop environments or operating systems out there. And if you open up multiple windows here, for example, you'll see here you know, the window previews. Obviously, if you hover your mouse over a minimized item, previously it had this big black block around the little preview. I've now replaced that with a sort of a glow effect, almost a drop shadow kind of effect. I've also increased the speed slightly, that the delays or decreased the delays, so it pops up much smoother, much faster, and it's got that nice sort of almost like a shadow, sort of makes it look like it's beveling out of the screen, you know. So that's quite nice. And then I've also been focusing a little bit on Firefox itself. You know, I wanted to give Firefox a nice clean look with some custom pre-configured plugins that's kind of useful for everybody, and not just dump a whole lot of stuff in there. So obviously speed dial is something I've enabled. That's already been enabled in the last build. However, I've been fine-tuning this, and you'll actually see that the dials are sort of almost like faded in the background, but the moment you hold the mouse over, it actually highlights it, sort of colorizes it to full color. So that's nice. You know, you can kind of catch your eye where the mouse is, or when you highlight a dial or something like that. I've also added Facebook notifications, Gmail notifications, and Twitter notifications. You can manage those three directly from your toolbar. I've also added ad block, so all ads and so forth on websites are blocked. And then if we open up something like YouTube, sorry you guys are gonna have to excuse my net, it's a little very slow in South Africa. If we open up something like YouTube and actually okay, I've put off the sound, and actually open up a clip, you'll see there's a download button here directly on the page. So now you can just select the item, select the format, and choose to save it or open with video player or whatever. And so you can download YouTube videos directly from the web page. There's no third-party software involved. There's nothing else you need to do. You can just directly download it straight from YouTube. So that's pretty nice. So you've got Firefox nicely configured. I did not put transparency on Firefox, the active window, mainly because I know people are going to be reading a lot of text on web pages, and the last thing you want is a background showing through, you know, and making the text hard to read. In your file manager, it's a different story, because in the file manager you kind of have these big icons colorized, and the text is big and bold, and so the background showing through a little bit does not really interfere with any work or anything you need to see on the screen and so forth. But on a web browser, it's a different story with fonts that are small and things like that. So now if I go into downloads, there's that video I downloaded straight from YouTube, and it plays normally without issues. Okay, so just a couple of nice little things that I've started polishing all over the show. So we've got the new menu here, the Synapse menu, and I can actually search that. There we go, Chaos in South Africa. See there? I just started typing CHAO. I haven't even typed anything else, and if I push enter now, it will literally play the video. You see what I mean with that launcher? I didn't have to open a folder. I didn't have to go and look where and type the path or anything. I just opened the launcher. I remember that said something about Chaos in South Africa, so I started typing Chaos, and as I got to the O, it picked up the clip for me. If I actually push down, it will actually give me the option. It will actually show there the clip, and it will show me the path, the path to the clip and so forth. Anyway, so that's a brilliant little launcher, and as you see, there is some transparency on this launcher as well. The whole launcher, you can see the wallpaper right through it. Okay, so pretty much all the pop-ups, everything's all transparent, most of the places all over, except for Firefox and App Grid. I've also fixed the software updated to some extent. I see it's after a few tweaks, it's actually popping up from time to time, showing me that updates available. It's not doing it as often as the nice little one in Debian was doing, but it is actually functioning to some extent, so that is nice, good news, because I actually struggled with that for a while. So I'm happy about that. So pretty much that is the build up until this day, up until this point in time. I'll obviously be messing with this for the rest of the week still. I want to see if I can get the beta build out by the end of this week. I'm really happy with this build. It is super fast. I have no problems with it. I don't actually even have the words to describe the speed of this. I mean, even the testers have noticed it and said, wow, this is fast. And not just usage, you know, even installing. I actually haven't timed it. I should time an installation and see how quick it is. But even installing it, it's like super fast. So I'm happy with this. This is going to be one hell of a release. We're going to really end the year on a high, and I don't think there's going to be any other distro out there that's going to be able to touch us, you know, in terms of speed and eye candy and just stability all around. So this is Jacques from MakuluLinux. I just wanted to update you guys on what was going on. So there you have it in a nutshell. MakuluLinux Xfce 7.0, codenamed Concord. Why? Because it is so fast. If you are a guy that doesn't like all the eye candy, you just want functionality, you've come to the right place. This thing will blow your mind with speed. In fact, I think it will scare you, because it's actually maybe a little too fast. If you're a guy that likes the eye candy, you've got the hardware to run it, and you want full-blown eye candy, you've also come to the right place, because there you have it, eye candy in a nutshell. I mean, there's so many more effects that you can enable. Obviously, I haven't enabled everything by default. I've just enabled the the normal stuff that most people use. I haven't even turned on the animation part. So yeah, do keep in mind this is in a virtual box. It should even run faster on actual hardware, depending on what your actual hardware is. But yeah, MakuluLinux in a nutshell, blazing speed, awesome eye candy, stable as crap. I mean, what more could you want out of a release? So yeah, this is Shark. I'm sure I'll be back within the next week or two with another video. Cheers, guys.